I gotta get my affairs in order. Not order. Order. What it do? Pop up live, just getting to work. The grind never stops. The road to 50,000 this year, it's gonna be a rough road, but guess what? It can be done. Give everybody a second to pop up, respectfully. Nobody ever knows when I'm going live, including myself. So you know what? Let me give my people some of this midnight loving pause. Well, it's not pause for the ladies, but you know, midnight loving, man, it's strictly for the ladies. Real KENZ TV, man. We in here. 10 Acres 07, what it do? What's good? William Smith, 3712, what's good, mate? LeBron still making posters, yeah? He is. I just finished watching a video. It's interesting, you should say that. I just finished watching a video on LeBron talking about his battle with Father of Time. I like LeBron, but Father of Time's undefeated. We've all heard that. Respectfully. Y'all double tap that screen, man. Let's get the likes up. I need 1,000 likes tonight, man. Somehow, some way, I need 1,000 likes. It takes 0.25 seconds. Just double tap the screen. Like, boom, boom. You know what I mean? See who else is in the building. Curtis. Hating ass Curtis, man. What up, Curtis? I don't got no, I'm riding solo dolo tonight. Ain't no co-host tonight. This Jesse Ray Dog. Oh, my bad. Jesse Ray OG triple OG ATL Trucker. I'm glad I caught you on here, man. Hey, I appreciate you, man. You know what I mean? I definitely appreciate you. You watch all my videos, you respond to them, man. You like them, you hype me up sometimes, man. Thank you, bro. I definitely appreciate you, man. Y'all say what up to ATL Trucker, man. He's out there, man, delivering them Amazon packages and you know, the things that we order online and we want it, you know, immediately overnight or whatever. And if it's not for the truck drivers, man, we're not getting that overnight. So shout out to all the truck drivers, man. Dropping them loads off, man. Big loads. Yeah, man, I just figured I'd do a little pop-up live tonight, man. It's going to be pretty much Ask KENZ whatever. You know what I mean? A little Q&A or whatever. Just giving people a minute to you know, enter the building, you know, so we can go ahead and get it cracking. Just now getting off work. I said, what better way to end my evening? You kick it with my YouTube peoples, my YouTube family, man. I'm on the road to 50,000 subscribers this year. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I know that it's going to be because of you all liking my videos, commenting on my videos, sharing my videos, telling people about Real KENZ TV. We trying to get to 50,000 this year. I'm not messing around. I'm not messing around this year. I'm actually about to start dropping more videos. So look to, you know, for me to drop 3 or 4 different videos every day. All of them won't be 30 minutes or better. Can't drop 4 videos 30 minutes or better per day. I guess technically I could, but that would take a long time. So some of the videos might be 15 minutes, 12 minutes, 18 minutes. But I'm going to still bring y'all that action and that heat and that 30 minutes a day because people like my 30 minutes or better. You know what I mean? People like the 30 minutes or better that's driving trucks or working 12-hour shifts, 16-hour shifts on the assembly lines at the factories or at the hospital or whatever your job may entail of. You know, I had a person tell me, and I've mentioned this before, I had a person tell me, like, KENZ, man, I have to do dialysis 3 hours a week, well, 3 days a week. I want to say 4 hours a day, 3 to 4 hours a day. And he said, man, one of the things, this really touched me. He said, one of the things, man, is, one of the things that really, really gets me through is the fact that your videos are so inspirational and they're longer videos. So by the time I watch 2 or 3, you know, of your videos, it's time for me to leave, man. And I appreciate that. And that's why I do it, man. I do it for the people, man. You know, I could easily get on here and make 12, 13-minute videos easily. I could do several of those a day. But that's not what I'm known for, you know. And my passion is jumping on here, talking to the people, helping the people. You know what I mean? So 30 minutes a day, or 30-minute videos rather, they will continue, but I will be bringing shorter videos throughout the day. We're on the road to 50K this year, man. I need 50,000 subscribers by the end of this year. That's the goal, man. I'm only about 35,000 and some change short. Good thing about YouTube, one video can get you there. 1 or 2 videos, boom, voila, can get you there. You know, I had an inspirational story by Jay Williams, Jackie Harvard, 1971. How you doing? You know, my Wendy Williams voice. How you doing? What's good? You know what I mean? And so I was talking to Jay Williams one time. This was probably, I don't know, maybe about a year ago. And Jay was telling me about how when he first started his YouTube channel, like he didn't know what he was doing. He was just making videos. Didn't really think much of it. Said he was struggling. Like most YouTubers when you first get started. You know, YouTube's one of those things. My dog James. James is in the building. What's good, James? Appreciate you chiming in. So Jay Williams was telling me, he was like, bro, I was struggling to get 100 views, man. He said, matter of fact, if I got 100 views, I would be, you know, somewhat happy, because I know I've seen the times to where I was only getting 12, 13 views, 15 views, and some of those were my friends and my family. And so as time went on, you know, his subscribers started to grow. YouTube, to get monetized, you have to have 4,000 watched hours, meaning that within a 12-month span, people have to have watched your videos for a total of 4,000 hours. Seems like a lot, doesn't it? 4,000 hours. I'm not talking about 4,000 minutes. I'm talking about 4,000 hours. So what's that, 4,000 times 60? 60 minutes in an hour? It's 4,000 times 60 is whatever it is, 240,000 minutes, I believe. That's a lot of watch time hours, it seems. Seemed as though he was never gonna make it. It seemed as though, man, I'm never gonna quite get there. Yeah, I got 6 or 7, you know, 100 subscribers, because you have to have 1,000 subscribers just as well to get monetized, start making money on YouTube. A lot of people think you just jump on YouTube and boom, voila, you start making money, and it doesn't work that way. You gotta work your way up to it. Jay said that he ended up telling a story, and he was very, very apprehensive about that. Cool Cats, who's that? Cool Cat Wayness. Hopefully I pronounced your name right. What's good with you? What up, real KENZ? Cool Cat Wayness from Naptown. Naptown's in the building. Shout out to Naptown, man. Dirty Nap. And so he was very, very apprehensive about uploading this video, and he talked about when he was in prison, someone getting raped in the shower. Someone getting raped in the shower, and at this time, a lot of people weren't telling stories of the such. So Wilbur Thomas, big fan, bro. Keep it coming. Good vibes. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you, man. I definitely appreciate you, man. Let your haters be your motivator. Absolutely. Absolutely. ATL's in the building. The 404. ATL's in the building, man. Y'all double tap that screen. But getting back to Jay Williams, he ended up telling the story about young dude getting raped in the shower, and said he didn't think anything of it. Set his phone down. Went to bed. Jay said that when he woke up the next morning, his phone was just like doing something very, very weird. It was just like buzzing. Like, you know how you turn your phone on vibration? It was just buzzing. He thought that there was something wrong with his phone. I can't get this thing to stop. You know, going off. So he turns the phone off and resets it. Does a, you know, manual factory reset or whatever. True, let the haters hate. Appreciate that, James. They gonna hate. We're gonna let them hate, though. He said he turned his phone back on, and the phone continuously was going off. He didn't know what was going on. He goes to his YouTube, within the YouTube app. Once he goes to the YouTube app, he looked up and he had all of these thousands of subscribers overnight. All of these thousands of subscribers. He had a whole lot of views. I can't remember exactly what he told me, but it was thousands upon thousands upon thousands of views. He had basically gone viral overnight about somebody getting graped in the shower. And he told me, he said, KENZ, that's when my channel really, really took off. Said he looked up and he had like 50 or 60,000 subscribers. That whole month, the next couple months, the channel was just getting, like, the momentum was there. He looked up and he was almost at 100,000 subscribers. One video catapulted him to the level to where he's at now. I haven't looked lately, but I know he's got to be pushing 400,000 subscribers. And so it's just one of those things to where you have to stay motivated. You can't get discouraged. Sometimes I look at other people's views and I'm like, man, why my views, why am I not getting 4,000 or 5,000 views per day? I'm not complaining. I'm not crying, because I'm very, very grateful for what I've been able to accomplish. You see, you got people that KENZ, that's why your channel's not growing, man. You've been stuck at 14,000 and some change for a long time. I challenge anybody to jump on YouTube and see if you can get 500 subscribers. Not saying that you can't, because you definitely can, but you'll see the difficulty in this. It's like a rapper or entertainer, and they're jumping into business and they're trying to make a name for themselves. They have to grow a following. I've had my channel for, I don't know, 2.5 years at this point. A little bit over 2.5 years. And so you have to have a following, but you have to earn that. There's so many different channels. That's why I appreciate you all so much, because there's so many different channels, variations of channels that you all could be watching. And I'm sure that you do watch other channels, and that's perfectly fine. But you choose to watch my channel, to chime in, to like it, to comment, to share it, subscribe, subscribe to the channel, and I'm very, very thankful for that. See, my time will come. I can't worry about when everybody else's time comes. I can't worry about what the next person has. But I'm very, very thankful for you all, man, because y'all genuinely rock with me, man. Y'all rock with me, man. I talk to people. People call my phone. People text my phone. I respond to as many, I got to get better with my comments, because I get so many more comments at this point, but still, there's no excuse. And I've gotten better with that, and I'm going to continue to do so. Carlos, I don't know exactly what that is. You're cute for someone like you. Whoa. Carlos, no. We're not going to do that. Elaine Cox 1200. It's really cold in Maryland. Is it cold in Lexington, Kentucky? Yeah, we're just coming out of a little ice storm, a little winter storm. We all right now, though, but it's supposed to snow again. It's snow all over the place. Not sure if y'all can really see in the background, because I think you can more so see the roads, and they've shoveled the roads off to the sidewalks and the grass or what have you. But yeah, it's been cold, extremely cold, excruciating cold. My car was buried until, I'm gonna say, Wednesday. So we've been stuck in the house for a whole week. There's my dog, Steven on the water, 6070. What up, KENZ? Hope all is well with you, brother. And I hope you're staying warm out there. It's 12 degrees here in Maryland. Yeah, that's what Elaine Cox was just saying. She's in Maryland just as well. Said it's very, very cold. It's been cold, but we gonna make it. We gonna make it. Gotta make it do what it do. But hopefully that story that I just told you all about Jay Williams, as far as how his channel really, really started to, got another one. at 10 acres 07, Maryland in the building. I'm coming to Maryland too, man. I'm definitely coming to Maryland. It's on my bucket list. But you know, if any one of you all are interested in starting a YouTube channel, never look at yourself and be like, oh no, not me, man. Nobody wants to hear me. Nobody wants to hear anything that I have to say. Listen, man, I'm a 4-time loser, man. Meaning that I tried my hands at the streets, the illegal game, several times and struck out 4 times. Been to the penitentiary 4 times. Not jail, not the county, not the penitentiary, 4 times. Nothing braggadocious about that but here it is now. I've turned my life around. And you all can do the exact same thing, man. First time catching a live at Infamous 440. I appreciate you. Cleveland is in the building. Shout out to Cleveland. Y'all welcome Infamous 440's first live, man. Y'all welcome Infamous 440. I'm a truck driver. I'm on my way to Lexington to the peanut butter place. Yeah, Jiffy. I believe it's Jiffy. Not Jiffy. Dang, what is it called? I know exactly where you're going to. I know exactly. Just can't think of the name of the factory. I tried to get a job there, and they put on their website, "We do not hire felons." Like, wow. They pay pretty nice too. I think they start off at $25, $26 an hour in Kentucky. That's nice money. But nevertheless, man, if you want to start your YouTube channel, man, and you have an interest in something, I don't care what it is. If it's animals, if it's sports, if it's freaking rocks, if it's science, if it's prison, if it's not that you have an interest in prison, but you have knowledge of prison, whatever it may be, there's a market out there for you, man. And guess what you need? A camera and internet. You don't have to go get a fancy camera. You don't have to have an iPhone. You don't have to have all this fancy lighting. Yeah, these things you'll ultimately get if you choose to do so. A phone and the internet. Is that Stefan Williams? What's up? 7076. What's good, bro? What's up with you? What's up with it? You see, the thing that I encourage people to do is take control of their personal finances, if you will. Yeah, you have a job, but we all know that a job will replace you just like that. Just like that, a job will get rid of your ass. And then what? You've been working at this factory for 15 years. You don't quite have enough to retire yet. You got a little nest egg built up. But you're making, and again, I'm going by Kentucky wages, but you're making $35 an hour. Other states, that may not be as much. California, New York, Chicago, it may not be as much. Well, Chicago's not a state, but you all get the gist of what I'm trying to say. But if you're making $35 an hour, and I know that's right. I know that's right. But if you're making $35 an hour in Kentucky, man, you are doing plus overtime, you're doing very, very well. Sure, you're not rich, but you might be married or have somebody else that's going half on the bills with you or whatever. So you know, and then all of a sudden they get rid of you for whatever reason. Nothing that you've done. You ain't missed a day of work in 15 years. We all know people like, hey, y'all double tap that screen for me. I need 1,000 likes. 15 years you've been on the job. You ain't missed a day of work. You've been dedicated. You ain't been late. Like I said, you never called in. Anytime you had to go to the doc, you did your due diligence. Everything that profession, you was very, very professional. Give your life to this job, man. Your heart and soul was in this job, man. You never thought that you would have to go and look for other employment. Until that one day they call you into the office. You're not thinking anything of it. They call you to the office and tell you, that's cute. Drewski with blemishes. That's cool. See, the thing about me, I don't mind people ranking on me. That's what they call it, ranking on me. We have some fun, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you tuning in though. See what I'm saying? I don't take none of this stuff personal. I appreciate you, bro, for real. They call you into the office and tell you that your services are no longer needed. But here it is, this person that's telling you that he ain't even been there, or she hasn't even been there half the time that you've been there. So their job is safe. But they tell you, we got to let you go. Kentucky's in the building. 859-502-270-606 in certain spots. What's good, KY? They let you go, man. That's why you see people that has built so much love. They have so much love in their heart for this job. They come in. Richmond, Virginia's in the building. What's up, Richmond? Ace 36363. Shout out to Richmond, Virginia. They come back and they can't take it, and they shoot the plan up, which I never, ever, ever, ever. That's never, ever, ever appropriate. Never. I don't care how long. I don't care if you've been there 50 years. No, don't do that. You don't do that. But I'm simply saying people have so much love. Exactly. I agree with you, Ace 36363. That's what I'm saying. You can't do that. You can't shoot up. No, you can't harm people. You can't. I'm agreeing with you. You can't do that. But what I'm saying is you have people that invest so much into this job that they're so crushed that they come and do these things. Which, again, I'm going to stress that it's totally unacceptable. A job will let you go. So now you've been making this $35 an hour. $35 an hour. What's that? $350, $369, that's $1,400 a week. Then you're getting an extra 10 hours a week in overtime. All of that money that you're making. All of that money that you're making, which is what, $35 an hour plus you get your time and a half for overtime. What's that? $52 an hour roughly for the 10 hours a week in overtime. So you're making an extra $500 a week, $1,000 every 2 weeks for overtime, plus your regular pay. Now you lose that job, and you got to start all over. So then you go and you get hired at a plant that's paying you $19 an hour. Essentially half of what you're already making. What do? You got to supplement that income. You got to go and DoorDash or Uber, and nothing wrong with these things, but you have to do something so you can never get too comfortable at a job. The only way I would get comfortable at a job, I've been there about 25 years. And I'd have maxed my 401k. I'm talking about y'all, as much as I can possibly contribute, and as much as you all will match. And I got 25 years in, man. I don't care, man. Do what y'all do, man. But still, even at that point, I may not be ready to retire. You got people that retire at a job. Well, you got people that's been in jobs for 25 years, but they started when they was 19 years old. So they're relatively young. They're 44. They're not ready to retire. They still want to work. But you can go get you another job. But the point that I'm making is this. Again, these jobs don't care anything about you. Y'all double tap that screen, man, for the likes. If you do something on the side, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Uber, DoorDash, or whatever, and you take that money, this is what I've learned. It took me a lot of years to learn this. When are you going to start the credit business course? Stefan William, I'm going to get right back to you on that. I promise you I am. If you just understand, and it took me, man, I'm going to tell you all this, man. And I love y'all, man, because I can talk to you all sometimes in life, I don't really have anybody to talk to at times, man. You know, my dad was that person, and he passed away when I was in penitentiary, man. Unexpectedly, wasn't sick or anything prior to me going in. But my dad was that person that I could call and he would just listen, man. Wouldn't say anything, would just listen to me. Once I got done talking, then he would tell me his perspectives, his opinions. You know, had I known, and we've all heard this before, had I known what I know now, had I exercised, because I'm not going to say had I known, because people that love me try to tell me, had I exercised what I know now 15 years ago, I promise you I'd probably be a millionaire, man. Maybe not a million liquid, but assets. But guess what? I didn't want to take the stairs in life. Let's be real. We're going to be real. Let's be real. I didn't want to take the stairs in life. I didn't want to use the stove. I wanted to use the elevator. I wanted to jump on the microwave, jump in the microwave. I wanted that money fast. I ain't got time to think about 15, 20 years down the line. Yeah, I see mutual funds. I see stocks, bonds, CDs. I see annuities. Man, that's too long. It's 25, 20 years down the line. I needed it now. It's my money and I want it now. But it wasn't my money. So I went out there and I got it. Go get the money. Go get the money. Go get the money. I went and I got it. But look what it cost me. This ain't no pity pat story, man. I'm grateful to be alive, man. I thank God every day that I wake up, every morning that I wake up. Thank you, because I didn't have to wake up, man. Let's be real, man. It cost me 11 years of my life, man. 11 calendars, 11 calendars in totality. 11 birthdays. 11 Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, 4th of July, favorite holidays. My mother's birthday, my daughter's birthday, my kid. This is what it cost me trying to get money fast. One thing about life, you look back and you reflect, and when you reflect, I think the major thing that really will get to anybody, especially myself, is when you think about where you could have been, what you should have been. Forget looking at everybody else and seeing where they're at. Yeah, you're gonna notice, but you still think back and it's like, man, if I had just done this, if I'd have just done that. But life is not a video game. There's no reset button. You can't just, you know how I do the manual rewind? I do my manual rewind. You can't do that. And so you make the best, at least you should make the best out of your situation. A lot of people say, oh man, I'm dealing with the cards that life handed me. No. There's never been a time to where the police just knocked on the door and say, hey, kids, come on, man, you coming with us, man. Oh yeah, they knocked on the door. Kids, you coming with us, but guess what? I did something. I ain't never been to prison. The 4 times I've been to prison, I did. Give me a second, man. Y'all rock with me. Give me a second. The 4 times that I've been to prison, I did it to myself. Nobody did it. Wasn't the judge, wasn't the police, wasn't the prosecutors, wasn't the snitches, it was me. Because I decided to put myself in that situation. It's so easy to say, oh man, dude, send me to the pen, man. But if you were never involved, then guess what? You never would have been in that situation. You think back to what you could have been, should have been, all these things. But you live. You live and you make the best of your situation. There's many people in prison right now, man. That will literally, there's many people in prison right now. And when I say this, and I don't care about people seeing the tears, because that's just, sometimes you gotta, that's just part of it. But there's people in prison right now. I want you all to put your arm out right here. Like this, like so. Remember your teachers used to say, like so in class. Put your arm out like this. And they're given an option, an alternative, if you will. You can stay in prison for the next 30 years. Or I can take his chainsaw and cut your arm off. We have doctors here. We're going to make sure that you don't bleed to death or whatever. We take his chainsaw and cut your arm off. I guarantee you, if you ask 100 people, most likely 100 people are going to do it. A lot of people talk about there's prison in which you're in prison, but then there's a prison outside of prison. And then some people say that it's worse to be outside in an outside prison opposed to actually being in prison. When you think about it, when you're in prison, you don't have any bills. You don't have any responsibilities. They wake you up, tell you when to go to work, tell you when to go to class. If you sign up for class, they feed you. You got cable. I'm not here to say that prison is a good place to be, because it's not. But I'm just simply saying some people really, really think this way. And I appreciate y'all. I'm seeing the comments. Thank you all. You spend all of these years that you locked up, and it's like, okay, when I get out, I'm going to do this, this, and this. You got your notepad. You got everything that you plan to do, everything that you've learned in prison, everything that you've... But then when you get out, it's totally... It's totally different. Again, I'm not making excuses, because it's not supposed to be easy. We put ourselves in this predicament. So what we think, because we've been to prison 3 or 4 years and we didn't get any write-ups, and we took these classes and these courses, but now we're dealing with the real world when we get out. You come home and it's like, I thought it was going to be this way. I thought it was going to be that way. And it can be. But it takes time. Again, we want the microwave and the stairs. instead of using the stove. Actually, we want the microwave in the elevator instead of using the stove and the stairs. It takes time. Y'all keep double tapping that screen, man. I need 1,000 likes and 1,000 shares. Then you find yourself in a situation looking at who has this, who has that. Now I got to get back, man. Here I am walking to work, catching a bus to work. Can't afford a Uber or Lyft. Back in I was getting locked up, they ain't even have no Uber or Lyft or whatever. It was a bus or walk or catch a ride. See your partners, man, they ride, well, not your partners, but people you know, they riding right past you. You on the bus stop. Now I got to get back, man. Forget this, man. Jump back in the game to what you know. Next thing you know, you can call it another case. In prison again. Set back even further. The thing about being incarcerated, it can happen just like this. So you got people that really, really say that, man, say a guy named, I don't know, Chris. We'll just use Chris. Chris was doing so well, man. No. That don't mean Chris was doing so well. Chris was doing everything that he was big enough to do in the streets. But he just didn't get caught up for 2, 3, 4 years. Then when he got caught up, man, he was doing so well. No, time just caught up with him. His actions caught up with him. Everything that Chris had accumulated, people gonna steal from you when you go to prison. Your girl's gonna leave you in a lot of cases, not in every case, because I done seen some strong women that, but I'm just saying in most cases, police is gonna take whatever they find, obviously. Then you're gonna spend money on lawyers, commissary phone calls, all that money that you made, but it's gone. Now you gotta go sit down for 3, 4, 5 years, come back out. You done met this person, that person, a plug, whatever. You come back out, do it again, run your money up again. Next thing you know, boom, you busted again. That's why they say it's a revolving door, because that's what prison is. And it took me 4 times, and every time it was just like, I'm gonna keep it real. The last time I shouldn't have been sent to prison, but at the same time, I shouldn't have put myself in that predicament in which these people could do something to me by sending me to prison. Peer pressure, even once you're an adult. Oh, broke ass nigga, man, that nigga's broke, man. He look at his, you know what I'm saying? Look at his shoes. They walking around with Jordans on, $400-500 pair, retro Jordans or whatever. You got some shoes from the shoe carnival. What y'all know about the shoe carnival? Any of y'all familiar with the shoe carnival? Ain't nothing wrong with the shoe carnival. When you come home, man, you can't go Foot Locker and all these people that's supposed to be your dogs and your partners or whatever, they ain't put no money in your pockets like that. So you got to go to the shoe carnival, get you $100 pair of shoes. They laughing at you. They got also, look at the Air Maxes. Back in the day, the Air Maxes was fly, but now you got to have on a certain type of Air Max. You know what I'm saying? You can't just have on a regular. You got to have the Air Max 90s, or you got to have, so you feeling that, and you walk into work, and I'm about to give me some money, man. I'm about to give me some money. Pay less. Oh, pay less, man. They really gonna ride you out. Next thing you know, like I said, you back in it. Same thing that happened to me. Same situation that I put myself in, then boom, I'm back again. Get out, come home, hit the ground running, doing everything that I'm supposed to do or whatever. Lose my job over some BS. Back in it again. Guess where I ended up at? Back in prison again. These are the things that happen. If you go to prison, man, your best bet is to, hopefully you don't go, but if you find yourself in a situation when you're in prison, man, go in there, man, just get your mind right, man. Get as much skills as you can possibly get. I always talk about how prison is it's my dog Dreams is in the building. Shout out to the Bronx Dreams. 392, 8-degree weather, doing security outside. Sitting in my car and DoorDash in 12 hours, absolutely. Any means necessary, as long as it's legal. I might come with some t-shirts. By any means necessary, as long as it's legal. You have to understand that locking people up is a business, and I speak about it all the time. So when you're in prison, people telling you, oh man, all you gotta do is this, all you gotta do is that, and if you go in there and you get your skill and get your trade, man, they weaponize those things in prison. Meaning that if I sign up for this class, sign up for that class, I want to do HVAC, I want to do be an electrician, I want to be a welder or whatever, 3-year waiting list. A 3-year waiting list to get into this class. One little thing happens, catch a write-up, they're gonna throw you out of the class. So it's very, very difficult at times to come home with a real skill. Say you're in a situation your people ain't sending you no money. You know what I mean? Your people's not sending you any money. No one owes you anything. You in prison, man. You put yourself there. Don't nobody owe you nothing. But you have a certain skill. You can drive a backhoe, or you know how to do plumbing, or you know how to do certain things, but you're just not certified at it. They do in Kentucky. They do. They offer positions to what they call special projects. Every inmate in Kentucky makes about 20 on state pay, makes about 25, 26 bucks per month. Not per day, not per week, not every other week. 25, 26 bucks per month. Y'all rock with me. But if you have a special skill and you find yourself on the special projects crew, then guess what? You're gonna make 140, 150, 170, depending on how many hours you work. 200 bucks a month. Won't work a job out here on the streets, but you'll go in there and work for 140, 150 a month. That's just how it works in prison. Guess what? I'm sorry, you know, I'm removing some of these weirdos. Give me a second. I need my moderators, but I don't never tell my moderators when I'm coming on. Need Miss Pat. Give me just a second, you all. These weirdos out here. And so you're willing to go in there and work for these people, but won't work a job on the streets. I know. April, when did you tell me? I ain't never hear you say you'd be a moderator, but I appreciate it. I definitely will. $130, $140, $150 a month in prison, man. And so when you're making this type of money, nobody's sending you money. Guess what? You can't do that and do a job over here. Well, go to class or go to school, whatever, and get trained, because you have to survive in prison, man. A lot of people think that, okay, well, you know, you're in prison, they 3 hots in a cot. That's what they call it, but it's really not 3 hots in a cot. It's really not. Prison, you're gonna eat, depending on what prison you at, probably gonna eat at about between 5 and 6 a.m. in the morning. Then you're gonna come back at about 11 and eat. That's obviously breakfast. Then you're gonna come back at about 11, 11:15, 11:30. You're gonna eat lunch. Then you're gonna come back at about 5, 5:15, 5:30. You're gonna eat dinner. And you see what I'm saying? You're not gonna eat again 12, 13 hours later. You in there and you ain't got no money, nobody sending you nothing, man. You in there starving. For the $25, $26, $27 a month that you making, it's called state pay. You gotta get your hygiene, you gotta get deodorant. They're not giving you, even if you deemed as indigent, they're not giving you deodorant. You gotta get you some deodorant. You gotta get you some real soap. They're gonna give you some state soap that don't even, it's trash. You gotta get you a couple bars of state soap. You gotta get you some toothpaste. By the time you do that, get you a box of noodles and some coffee. Man, that's all you got. And you have to make that last for the whole month. But again, we put ourselves in this predicament. So you looking at this and you like, man, I want to go to class, I want to go to school, but they paying me $150, $140, $150, $170 a month. I could live much better in prison making this. So guess what? You go and you work for the people that they would have to hire. Just imagine, is there anybody on here? Anybody? Well, it's not a lot of people on here right now in my live, but see, I published this video afterwards, so it'll be like way more people that see this video once I publish it. But I want you to put in the comment section, if you drive a backhoe, if you know how to operate a backhoe, how much money do you make hourly? I don't know. I know it's a lot. I know it's more than $140, $150 a month that they're going to pay an inmate that knows how to operate a backhoe. And then when it's lunchtime, they're going to give you a sack lunch. Or if you're on the yard, if you're on the compound, you go to the chow hall and eat. If you're away from the chow hall, whatever, they're going to give you a sack lunch. Peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Maybe a ham sandwich. They ain't going to give you no chips. They're going to give you like an apple or orange. What else do they give? Because I want to be very, very accurate. They're going to give you like one of them little juice packs that you pour in water. And maybe some pasta salad. Something silly like that, or some coleslaw. That's going to be your lunch. Every blue moon, you might get some chips. But what I found is, if you got 20 workers out, or if you got 15 workers out there, they send the chips. The workers, the COs is taking half of them. Dirty game in prison, man. $140, $150 a month, man. And that's what I try to tell these youngsters. You really have it good out here, great out here, because you have an opportunity. You'll be exploited in prison. Little Caesars hot and ready pizzas. They've obviously gone up at this point, but they used to be $5, hot and ready's. They used to sell those in our county jail. In prison, they were actually a little cheaper. In our county jail, man, you want a hot and ready? $15, man, for one hot and ready pizza. Knowing that they getting the deal, I knew a couple of this. I knew the COs. I don't know how much they are now, but they're more than $5. They're not $5 hot and ready's. Probably like $7. But back when they was $5, the jail would order so many to where they would get these hot and ready pizzas, pepperoni pizzas, for $3. They get a deal. So let's do the math. Our county jail would hold 1,000 people, 1,200 people. Say it's 1,000 people in the county jail. Let's just do the math. 800 people ordered a pizza. Some people ordered a couple pizzas. They would put a cap on it so you can only order like maybe 2, maybe 3 pizzas. 800 people ordered these pizzas that they paid $3 for. $2,400 for 800 pizzas. They charging us $15 per pizza. It's $12,000, man. $12,000 that they brought in, and this is every Monday. $12,000, and they done paid $2,400 for it. It's a form of extortion, but they get away with it because they say, well, nobody made the inmate buy the pizza. They bought it on their own, which is true. They capitalizing. Nobody made you buy that pizza, but the food is so bad that they serve, and if you have the money to do so, who wouldn't do it? If you starving, you look up and you got $20,000 in your account, and you in a situation where the food, you somewhere and you starving, and your only option is to eat this nasty little amount of food that they're giving you. But you can get a number 8 at McDonald's. But instead of it being $10, it's $40. Y'all rock with me. You looking at your account, you got 20 grand in your account and they charging $40. You know it's a ripoff. You know it's a ripoff, but it's like, man. Yeah, matter of fact, give me 2 of them. That's what they do in prison, man. Legalized extortion. Food is gross. Now, come on, kids, don't go to prison. You won't have to worry about that. I understand. You're right. Don't go to prison. But we all make mistakes. We all do things that's not on the up and up. Don't go to prison. That's the ultimate message. It's such a dirty. Like, if you all just knew, and I'm glad that you don't know, you would be like, wow, I see why KENZ feels the way that he feels. There was a guy by the name of Paul Harvey. Y'all double tap that screen for me. I need 1,000 likes tonight. Paul Harvey. He was a very, very famous radio, I guess what, broadcaster. Y'all Google Paul Harvey if you don't already know who he is, who he was. And he said, man, you want to see the real scum of earth? Scum of the earth? He had a relative in prison. He said, go to a prison break room at lunchtime. Let me run that by you all one more time. If you want to see the real scum of the earth, go to a prison break room at lunchtime. All the COs, the staff, whatever's in the break room. A lot of them deserve to be in prison, just like myself. They just didn't get caught. Maybe they knew some people, whatever the situation may have been. They weren't in prison. See, I don't knock being a CO if that's what you want to do. I don't think anybody grows up saying, you know what, I want to be a correctional officer. But at the same time, people definitely don't grow up saying, you know what, I want to be an inmate. I'm going to keep it fair. I'm going to keep it 50-50. I'm never going to, you know. You got some of the worst people on this earth that are COs. And again, I'm stressing, not all. Man, I done met some good people, man, that are COs. Come into work, get their money, get their check, whatever, and go home, man. They ain't trying to make nobody's time hard. But then you got these other COs that just come in there and just, they nerds. They ain't never have no girl in high school. They was never able to go to the prom, the senior prom. They was never able to make the football team or the basketball team, or it was just nobody paid them any mind. Which I don't agree with that. But then, oh, by the way, somebody $KENZ, zebra, as in zebra, 1,000. That's my Cash App. $KENZ 1,000. That's my Cash App. Y'all support the channel. So you take these individuals that never ever, nobody ever paid them any mind. They wanted to really be a police officer, but they couldn't cut it. They see an ad in the newspaper. Back then it was a newspaper. Correctional officer, $13 an hour. Back then. No high school diploma required. GED. You can have a criminal record. They didn't say this, but I'm paraphrasing. No felonies. So you give these motherfuckers a job and take them through the little academy. I do a sworn oath. I'm sworn in. I'm sworn, I swear. And you give them a job at a jail or penitentiary or whatever. And they walk around with these little blue uniforms on. They got their handcuffs. They got their flashlights. They got their motherfucking, you know what I mean? They got their mace on the side of their hip. Look like a fire extinguisher, but it's bird spray, mace, whatever. But most importantly, they got two things that's very vital. They keep their pen. Actually, it's three things. If you really want to break it down, you got a pen, you got a notepad, you got that radio, and they wear it right here. And they got like a little, I don't know, they can keep that radio right here. So anytime that they need to radio in something, they can just, it's right there. Hit the little red button, panic button, and half the yard, half the staff is gonna come to their aid. I'm in a chow hall one day. There's several instances, but I'm in a chow hall one day. And Two Tones 18. Big Boss KENZ, it's your West Coast cousin. Happy Friday, man. The West Coast is in the house, man. Chiming in. I appreciate you, man. Shout out to the West Coast. So you got these COs that act so tough. So this particular day, dude was in the chow hall minding his business. Like the inmate, he's just minding his business, man. Chilling, ain't bothering nobody. He pulls his hot sauce out of his state jacket. They give you these jackets in the penitentiary. Call them your state jackets, khaki jackets or whatever. Pulls his hot sauce, pouring it on it. And actually, it was ranch. It was ranch dressing. Pulls the ranch dressing out. Actually, it was probably both. But we just gonna say ranch for now, because I know it was definitely ranch. I never will forget. It was It was one of them days to where a lot of people would come to the chow hall. It was a taco salad. Regular taco salad like you would have on the street. He brought his ranch. Now, technically, you're not supposed to bring anything into the chow hall. You're not. People would typically bring ranch and hot sauce. I seen a dude get his whole wig split over hot sauce. Hey, bro, let me use some of that hot sauce. Here you go. He used the hot sauce, gave it to his partner. 3 or 4 people at the table used the hot sauce. He got his hot sauce back. Half the bottle's gone. He's like, bro, this is actually a story. You know what? I'm going to tell this story. Bro, damn, my hot sauce, man. You didn't use all my hot sauce? Penitentiary things go left quickly. One word was said, 2 words was said. They was going back and forth. Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. I ain't tripping. This was the dude that gave him the hot sauce. Took the hot sauce and made sure the lid was on tight. The cap was on tight. Came back a couple minutes later. Took that bottle of hot sauce and split that dude over the top of the head, man. Split his wig. That's how quickly things can go left in the penitentiary. He's talking to the officer. This particular situation, story that I'm speaking about, he's talking to the officer. The officer's trying to confiscate his ranch dressing. You gonna take my ranch, man? I mean, yeah, you're not supposed to, CPP, the codes or whatever the handbook says that you're not supposed to bring in the inmate. I was an inmate. Actually, let's correct that. I was a convict, man, and ain't nothing proud about that. But let me tell you all the difference. See, you got an inmate and you got convicts, man. Me, I see no evil, I hear no evil. I move about my business. I don't see nothing. But again, nothing cool about that. Inmate is going to probably tell it. The inmate is probably going to speak upon what he's seen and witnessed. The officer, man, he's telling him, man, give me that ranch or whatever. Come on, man. I ain't trying to bother nobody. I ain't never had no write-ups. I ain't never had no problems. And man, me and you been cool. Me and you ain't never had no issues. I come in here every day. I see you. I mean, come on now. I never will forget. That officers called him Logan. They'll never let you know their first name. It'll be like the initial L. Logan. But it was Logan. Logan was about, I don't know, maybe he's 5'11". Nah, he wasn't 5'11", because people that's 5'11" don't act that way. He was about 6 foot. Looked like a military haircut that he had. Had to been weighing in at about 300 pounds. 270, maybe 275, something like that. He didn't really say too much, but he just had an aura about himself as though he was so tough, man. You know what I mean? Sweden's in the building. Shout out to Sweden. Was good. Ski sliding. I think that's what it is. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong. But this dude would just walk through and write people up. So when you seen him, you knew that he wasn't the one to play with. So I guess in his mind, he had built what actually wasn't in his mind. You knew not to play with him. He gets to talking all this stuff. So the inmate was like, well, look, man. He was being very, very passive. Bro, you ain't even got to go through this, man. I mean, damn, man, it's just some ranch dressing, man. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's trying to convince him. But Logan wants to be an officer that aspired to be a sergeant. He got to talking crazy, and some family dudes like, look, man, why you even going through this? All you gonna do is get on your little panic, hit your panic button. That's what we call it in Kentucky, your panic button. and get the peoples in here, because once you hit the panic button, it's going to be 10 of them that rush in immediately. They're going to stop what they're doing and rush in immediately. Bro, it ain't even got to be that deep here, man. Here's the little ranch, man. But Logan felt as though he wanted to take it to the next level because everybody was laughing, you know, the people, because like it's 4 people to a table in the penitentiary. So they laughing. Come on, man. Go on and do your job, man. Go on and do your thing, man. Here's the ranch, man. The ranch was damn near to the bottom anyway. Logan had to prove he was tough. Running his mouth. Running his mouth. Running his mouth. And they got to the point to where the inmate was like, what's up, man? What's up? What's happening? What you want to do? Took his little utility belt. You know, Batman. I often talk about this. Batman, if you know, you know. And when I was younger, I used to come home and Batman, boom, beep, bang, bing, boom, 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 bang. You know, they do the sound effects, and him and Robin, and they would get stuck in a situation, and Batman is like, oh, Robin, you know, Boy Wonder. As Boy Wonder, what are we gonna do, Batman? The Joker and all of the bad guys, they was in another room. Robin, if I could, and I've told this before, if I could just, you see him moving around squirming, reach my utility belt. He was reaching for his belt. Because if Batman could have wrenched his belt, he could have gotten, which he often did, him and Boy Wonder out of the situation. This is funny, so it's hard for me to really tell this because it's the truth, but it's funny. So Logan was reaching for his utility belt, but he was trying to take his belt off. Again, he got his handcuffs, he got his flashlight, he got his mace, he got all his little things, trinkets that they give you as a correctional officer. I don't have to call back up. He squares up. He squares up, meaning I'm ready to throw these things, man. So the inmate, I don't even know the inmate. I was just there. So that's why I'm referring to him as inmate, because I don't even. So he's like, come on, Logan, man. We ain't that deep, man. No, you challenge me, let's get it. Look, bro, I don't want no problems with you. After 2 or 3 times, finally, the inmate's like, okay, well, what's up, man? Let's get it. What's happening? Man, when I tell you that he stepped to Logan, Officer Logan, so aggressively, fast and strong, just the first thing that he did. Y'all jump in the comment section, man. What do you think he did? Y'all that been watching me and following me, what do you think that Officer Logan did? Got his radio right here. Dudes up on him like that. What's happening? You talking all that stuff was happening. Signal 7 in the chow hall. Signal 7 in the chow hall. Signal 7, for y'all that are not familiar, means that stop what you're doing and get here, not now, but right now. Signal 7, and it's always a frantic voice. Signal 7 in the chow hall. Signal 7 in the chow hall. Now, you was just talking so strong and tough, and you was going to do this, and you was going to do that. But what happened to that energy that you was just, you know what I mean? Signal 7 in the chow hall. Man, they came about 15 deep. They came about 15 deep in the chow hall and rushed the dude. And when they seen who the dude was, they looking at Officer Logan like, bro, he don't never cause no problem. It's like them calling a Signal 7 on me. They would come in and look at me like, oh, hold on, kids. Not to say that they wouldn't steal, but I'm saying they're going to do their job, but hold on, kids. Because I ain't causing no trouble. And they knew that this dude didn't cause no trouble. But Logan was one of them bitch-made officers that really, really thought that he was something. Everybody told the story, yeah, you see no evil, you hear no evil. But in penitentiary, you can tell on the COs. Yeah, you can tell on the COs. Fuck them. Of course, they're not going to believe the inmates. They're going to believe, it can be 50 inmates that say that this officer did this. But as long as that officer don't adhere and admit to that, they're going to believe the officer. But you was just talking all of this stuff, this and that. And the first thing, Signal 7 in the jaw, frantic. First it was like, your real aggressive voice, like, look, man, I don't care nothing about this belt. I don't care nothing about this radio. I don't care nothing about none of this, man. You want fat? Yes, how you talk. He was, cause you want fat, bad guy. You want fat? You say fight. You want fat? It was like, you know what, man? Today's the day, man. You selling wolf cookies? Guess what? I'm back. What's happening? Let's get it, man. Let's get it. Signal 7 in the jaw. Signal 7 in the jaw. The whole demeanor, his whole voice changed. That's how it is, man. That's how it is in the penitentiary, man. Jail. Somebody asked me a question, and I'm so mad because I try to answer every question. So if you ask me a question on here, Signal 7 in the chow. Signal 7 in the chow. If you ask me a question, man, because this is a Q&A for real, just ask me again and I'll answer it. Penitentiary's crazy. Jail's crazy, man. A lot of people think that when you go to prison, like when you go to prison that the people that have life sentences or whatever, that them officers leave them alone. They don't, man. They don't. A lot of them guys that have life 40, 50 years before they have an opportunity to get out, they just chill out, man. They done been there, done it. You can't win. You have certain privileges in prison. You have your own TV if you can afford to buy a TV. Get to go to commissary, get to, go work out and all these things. But you can do these things in the real world. But being that you're not in the real world, you don't really want to go to the shoot, man. You don't really want to get locked down 23 hours a day. So you chill and you just work on your case. You go to the law library. You just really, really try to. A lot of times, man, the most violence that I see is by the dudes that don't have as much time, to be honest. 7, 8 years, 10 years, 15 years. It's still a lot of time, but not in comparison to the individuals that have life. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. 2 Tones 18. Talked all that stuff, and you see that so often, man. You know what I mean? Can we talk about your prison pocket? What is my prison pocket? I don't even know what that means, bro. Would you care to further elaborate? Because this is a Q&A. We can talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. I ain't never been no tough guy in prison. I'm just a stand-up guy, man. Same way I am out here. Took some L's in prison. Got a couple W's in prison. I mean, you're going to fight when you go to prison, man. That's just what it is, man. A lot of people feel as though, okay, I'm going to go to prison and I'm going to mind my business and I'm not going to bother anybody and I should be okay. A lot of times you will be, but it's always going to be somebody that tries you, man. You got cardinal sins in prison, man. Obviously, don't steal, don't tell, see no evil, hear no evil. Mind your business. Essentially, it's all the same. Don't gamble. Don't borrow. These are the things that you stay away from in prison, man. Me, I was hard-headed. Stay off at basketball court. Man, I'm on the basketball court. I couldn't tell me I wasn't no hooper. I'm on the court. I'm on the poker table. Fuck it. It's gonna be what it's gonna be, man. Particular situation, man. I was a girl, man. She wasn't showing up for me. I'm right here in Lexington. It would literally take her from the time she pulls out of her driveway to pull up to where I was at 15 minutes. And she wasn't coming to see me. But yet she's telling me that she's still with me. She's rocking with me. But yet I'm not seeing you. And I never will forget, man. I'm at a camp, a low level camp. It's Blackburn Correctional Complex. To be honest, out of my 11 years that I've done, I probably did 7 of it at Blackburn. Other times I was behind the walls, but I never really had to stay long. 6 months, then I get transferred. 9 months, I get transferred. I wasn't no hardened criminal. I just want to get some money, man. I don't take robbing people and being violent, sexual crime, man. I was just trying to get some money, man. Not against individuals, but banks. And you see, my mentality back then was, man, think about it. Whenever you go to an ATM machine, right? And let's just say your ATM machine is the bank that you bank with is out of service as far as the ATM machine or whatever the case may be, and they want to charge you $3-4 every time you use the ATM machine. But just imagine how many people they doing that to. So you do it, you ain't thinking no big deal out of it, but a big bank, Chase Bank, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, they got millions of customers. So you got hundreds of thousands of people that's doing this every single day, and they making millions of dollars just because you use the ATM machine. So this was my mentality back then. This was my mentality. Wasn't right, but that's just what it was. I'm getting my money out here on the streets, man. I ain't giving a damn, man. I got to get this bread. You heard me? But I wasn't trying to hurt anybody. Again, I would always have a pending case, so I would always find myself amongst the guerrillas. But there's a misconception because even though you're behind the walls, like there's guerrillas everywhere at camps. You got guerrillas, man. Just because a person's at a camp, that don't mean that, okay, he's at a low level camp. So no, it just means that he stayed out of trouble. He's trying to go home. But man, I've seen more violence at low level camps, and especially in the county jails, than anything else, man. You will get, oh my God. I'm in the county jail, and I know I jump from, subject to subject, well, not subject to subject, but story to story situation, but it's all relevant. A lot of people don't understand this YouTube thing, man. You're talking, it's like we're having a conversation. I can't remember every single thing that I'm talking about, then I jump from this, jump to that, whatever. But I'm gonna tell you all this. I was in the county jail one time, and I've told this story just as well, but everybody didn't see it, man. Y'all rock with me, man. I'm in the county jail. OG Dave had a whole lot of family here. He was known. He was one of the sort of individuals that when he's locked up, 2 of his brothers is locked up, 3 or 4 of his nephews, several cousins. His family is known throughout the jail. We're in the county jail. He gets into it with a little young dude. Young dude's running his mouth. Dave's about to go home, so he ain't really even... He really wants to take a look at the young dude, but he's like, man, for the first time, I'm going to listen to people. Whoever sent me that Cash App, I appreciate it. I couldn't see the name, but $ KENZ 1000, $ KENZ as in zebra 1000. Whoever sent me that, actually 2 people sent me Cash Apps. I appreciate that. He's like, all right, man, I'm going to let it go. Young dude was talking crazy over some dominoes, a chess game or something like that. Dave said, man, I'm going to get you. If it's the last thing I do, I'm going to get you. Yeah, whatever. Whatever, old nigga. People think that a lot of these youngsters, not all of them, but because you got a lot of youngsters that's respectful. But then you got a lot of these youngsters that think that just because you're a little bit older, that, you know what I mean? That, I don't know. Like you don't know nothing. Like you won't do nothing. Day came. His case ended up getting dismissed or something like that, but it was time for him to go home. Called him first thing in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, whatever time they release you. It's real early. Everybody else is asleep. They got like a little intercom, but the officer, if you got a cool officer, he ain't gonna come on the intercom and say it. Dave, B&B, pack your stuff, B&B. Now he's gonna come up and tap your rack. Hey man, get your stuff, man. You being released. That's a cool, respectful officer. He comes up, taps Dave's rack. Hey, it's time for you to get up, pack your stuff, man. You going home. Dave at the time was probably maybe 41, 42. Black dude, little baby nappy afro. Got them hard hands, man. He had done penitentiary time just to probably 5'11". He's weighing in at, I don't know, he got to be 215, 220. A whole lot of push-ups. He's a solid dude, man. Just a dude that they had a reputation, man. Everybody in the pod is asleep. The pod is like, it's 10 to 12 people in the pod. It's like bunk beds, where everything's metal. So you got 6 different bunk beds or whatever. One on the bottom, one on the top. You got a bathroom to where like you go in there and you use the bathroom, then you got a shower. You got 1 TV. You got maybe 3 or 4 tables. 1 phone. Maybe 2 phones. That's what a pod consists of. So at nighttime in our county jail, at 11 o'clock they lock down, and you don't get back out until they don't pop the doors until about 6 o'clock in the morning for breakfast. Dave packed all this stuff up. People that he really fooled with, he's leaving them commissary or, you know, things that shorts and long johns and thermals and, you know, things like that in jail, man. It's very, very important, man. He's dapping his partners. Hey, my dog, I'm gone, man. I got your information, man. I'm gonna get with you, man. I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? A couple people he's dealing with. The officer opens the door, right? Because they got like from the guards panel or control panel, whatever, they can pop the door. He doesn't physically have to walk upstairs and open the door, so he pops the door open. Whatever items that he was taking with him, he got over his shoulder. He's walking out. Yeah, people do take things home from jail, mail, and he had been in there like 9-10 months. It was a misdemeanor case. It was a felony, but he got amended, to a misdemeanor, and they let him out a little bit early. Wait, youngster. hits his rack. Youngster was on the bottom bunk. Hits his bed because you're on mats in jail. It ain't like you got a motherfucking you know what I'm saying, pillow top or nothing like it. Hey, youngster turns over. You know how it is when you first wake up, you sleep. Youngster turns over. I said, Dave, man, he knowing he got these hard hands and knockout artists, man. Boom! Puts him right back to sleep and walks out of the cell, man. Knocks dude out. Wakes him up out of his sleep. Boom! Dude goes right back to sleep. Knocks him out and leaves the jail. It's a classic jail story. You got youngsters, man, that are very, very... I can't even imagine how it is now. And I don't want to know. I don't want to imagine, really. But you got these youngsters in jail, man. These YNs, man. And they really... They'll tell you in a heartbeat, man, I ain't got no respect for my elders. They'll tell you, I ain't got no respect for my elders. Basically, what they saying is, leave me alone. You can't tell me nothing. Because I don't have no respect whatsoever for my elders. I don't know if it's necessarily the right thing to do. I done seen so many youngsters get knocked out. Willie Lee. I told a story about Willie Lee. We sitting in the game room. We playing spades. I want to say we was playing spades. Me, my partner. Then you got Willie Lee. And then you got damn, what's dude's name, man? I can't remember his name, but Willie Lee's partner. Forget me and my partner, Willie Lee's a straight up G. He's from Kentucky, but he moved out to Texas, and so he was like one of those situations where he's back and forth, man. Willie Lee was about 6 foot, bald-headed, caramel complexion, had a big beard. One of them dudes that was always just neat, kept his uniform, his state uniform, because they give you khaki uniforms. Always ironed, boots stay shined. Willie Lee taught me how to really, really play chess, man. We'd be playing spades against each other, and Big Curry, that was his partner, Big Curry. Big Curry was my dog. Me and Big Curry was in the same dorm. We was all in the same dorm, but like me and Big Curry is now this is penitentiary now. Me and Big, it's not the county jail, it's penitentiary. Me and Big Curry was in the same dorm together, 50-man dorm. He always used to laugh at me. I'd be like, man, Big Curry, man, I done changed my life. He'd be like, you didn't change your life. Now, Big Curry's about my complexion, bald-headed dude, man. Had like the little chin strap, beard, goatee. Big Curry was about 6'2", 6'3". Had to have been weighing in at 350. Used to be an athlete. Like he was D1, a D1 athlete or whatever. And you could tell because he was very, very athletic. I don't know if he was 350, because now I think about it, he played in the 35 and over basketball league, and he was still very, very good and active. But whatever, he was over 300 pounds. So him and Willie Lee, they would always team up against me and my partner. I used to talk a little stuff or whatever, but they let me get away with it, but I didn't go too far. Understand, you still are in jail, prison. Some reason, man, wherever I go, man, I just always had people kind of took to me a little bit. But at the same time, I never got too comfortable because we are in the belly of the beast. Dog eat dog. Dude is talking crazy to Willie Lee, man. I'm trying to tell my partner, like, bro, chill out, man. You get to playing dominoes, spades, or whatever. You know, you just running your mouth and just talking and just talking and just talking. So Willie Lee tells him. Now, Willie Lee at the time was probably, like I said, Willie Lee had to have been. Now, my partner, I'm young, man. I'm in my 20s. So Willie Lee My partner's in his 20s. Willie Lee was in his 40s. Had to have been. Because he had done, I think Willie Lee had done 16, 17 straight. Big Curry was probably in his 30s. Close to 40. And my dude is just talking and talking and talking. It got to the point to where it went from fun to like, bro, chill out, man. Chill out, man. You know what I'm saying? Willie Lee's just sitting there. He ain't really, he ain't really stressing it. But it got to the point to where Willie Lee's like, hey, bro, chill out now. Now, Willie Lee was in there. He had like a 40-year sentence. He had shot a couple people with a shotgun, and he had done some violence. He was violent, man. But you would never know it. I'm not going to say you wouldn't know it, but he was just by his demeanor and his disposition, he was chill. But you don't want to get on his wrong side. Dude was just running it. He talks crazy, Willie Lee. Willie's okay. I tell you what, Willie Lee said. I tell you what, man. You say one more word, young fella. I'm trying to spare you. No disrespect to you. I'm trying to spare you, young fella. But if you say one more word, I'm gonna have to show you what I'm about. A couple more hands was dealt. He got to talking crazy, whatever. Dude stands up. Willie Lee stands up. Willie Lee stands up. Straightens his collar out. Got on state uniforms, they button downs. Buttons his top collar. Or his top button, rather. When it closed in space, went in a little bitty rec room that maybe had 4 tables. So you got 4 other, or 3 other tables, at 4 people per table, and then you got a couple people standing around watching. He's like, listen, young fella, man, you sure you want to do this? Young fella's running his mouth, talking crazy, whatever. Dude swung at Willie Lee. Why did he do that? When he swings at Willie Lee used to box and nobody knew, and he sidesteps him. And when he sidesteps him, he protects his, you always got to, with your offhand, you got to protect all this. But typically in boxing, he sidesteps him and he protects his, his ear and side of his face or whatever. And when the dude missed, Willie Lee hit him. Boom! And all you heard was hit him in his ribs, like right here. The dude falls to the ground on one knee. Willie Lee could have demolished him. Willie Lee could have literally demolished this dude. He stands over top of him. He's like, you had enough? Didn't flaunt, have you had enough? Yeah. Willie Lee extends his hand, helps the dude up, and it was over with. And old dudes in prison, nobody in prison is to be played with. Them old dudes in prison, because at the time, man, I'm looking at Willie Lee, 42, 41, 42, maybe 43s. I knew he wasn't nothing to play with, because I don't play with people anyway. But I knew that this dude wasn't no game. He was not to be played with. Can you imagine, man? He could have just scraped that dude. He could have just, but he didn't. He was trying to go home. He did 16, 17 years. Ended up making parole 7, 8 months later. And I was sick when Willie Lee left, because he taught me how to play chess, and that was my dog, man. Again, people, like, he would just take to me. Ain't no funny business or nothing like that. Like, Willie Lee, man. You know what I mean? Got to the point to where I got so good at chess, he would be like, they still had cigarettes on the yard. He'd be like, if you beat me in chess, you put up, what did he tell me? I'll give you 5 packs of cigarettes, man, if you beat me in chess. And I got to the point to where every blue moon I would beat him, man. And I wouldn't take his 5 packs, you know. Might take 1. But he was like a fatherly figure to me, man. And he taught me a lot. He taught me a lot, man. And when Willie Lee ended up getting out, man, I was like, that's the thing about when you're in prison, man. Like, your peoples that you cool with, like, just on some good, genuine, y'all cool with, and they leave, you happy to see them go home. But it's like, damn, it's my dog. I have my younger people that I hung with too, but he was like the person that, one of the people that I would talk to, you know, give me the wisdom or whatever. But you got to watch certain situations and certain people when you're locked up, when you're on the streets. People, period. Going back to the county jail, again, I've told this story before, but everybody hasn't heard it. There is a message. Young dudes, YNs at the table, 4-man tables, these metal tables or whatever. You got the chairs, the seats or whatever, everything's bolted to the ground. They playing dominoes. Domino, motherfucker! You know what I'm saying? They slamming the bones, man. A lot of times you put a blanket, you got an extra blanket. You put a blanket on the table because it was like, again, those tables are metal. So you slamming the bones, people's trying to sleep. You got 4 people at the table, so it's probably 8, I don't know, 6 to 8 other people in the cell that's trying to sleep. But y'all playing dominoes and you slamming the bones on the table, man. 4 YNs, man, at the table, man. Young niggas, man. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. Ain't no sleeping in jail. People do their meals blow up. That's what they call it. They spreads. They ain't even gonna start doing that until about midnight. You're gonna take whatever you get. You got noodles. You got the food from the commissary, right? So you might have noodles. What else? Summer sausages. You gonna throw some tuna in there. If somebody done saved the egg from earlier, whatever you can throw in there, you're gonna throw it in there, and it's called blow up, man. And you gonna eat. Put the chips on top, crush the chips up, put them on top, man. Put the cheese in there, and you know what I'm saying, you're gonna eat, man. They playing dominoes, man. I'm in the cell, man. They playing dominoes, and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30 in the morning. So they dim the lights in our county, in Fayette County Jail. I don't want to keep saying our county jail because it's not my county jail. So they dim the lights. OG gets up and is like, hey, youngsters, can y'all do me one favor? Hey, y'all do me one favor. I gotta take an intermission. Don't y'all go nowhere, but just give me like 2 minutes, like 1 minute. Don't go nowhere. As my dog Jay Williams says, and we're back. Shout out to the homie Jay Williams once again. But he's like, hey, youngsters, man. No disrespect, but is there any way we can get y'all to, you know, maybe quiet down just a little bit? A lot of times when you had an extra blanket in a unit, you put that blanket, because you don't want to put your own blanket on the table. But if you had an extra blanket, you put it on the table so it's not making any sounds when you slamming the bones. Closed up shop on the Sega, now we slamming bones. Slamming them bones on the table. on metal is loud. Again, they didn't have an extra blanket. There is a message. Nigga, this is jail. You don't like it, make bond, nigga. And they continued to play. It was one dude that was just running it. One dude that just was running. Wasn't nobody else really saying nothing, but it was just this one dude that was just, the young dude was probably, I don't know. He was probably, OG was probably 45, man. You don't play with them old dudes, man. Young dude was probably 25. You don't like it, make bond. We don't respect our elders. We don't respect nothing. We going to the penitentiary. Boom, slamming the bones. Every time it's his play. Your play, you can't play, board's locked up. Boom, you can't, and he's slamming the bones even harder. Exactly, James. I see you still rocking with me. Sully Sale. They don't know nothing about that Sully Sale. Tonight it goes down. It's going down tonight. So he's slamming the bones. So OG's like, y'all remember Frank Lucas in American Gangster? My man. He didn't say that, but that was the disposition. That was the demeanor that he had. They continue to play bones for the next hour and a half, slamming the bones. Boom! Slamming. No, nigga. Arguing back. Boom! You can't play. Boom! 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 Slamming the bones. So eventually they go to sleep. See, that's the thing about prison. That's the thing about life in general. You got to go to sleep, but especially in a closed-in. Man, y'all double tap that screen, man. Before I go OG on y'all, man. Double tap that screen, man. I need 1,000 likes. Then I'm going to sleep. It's about 4:30 in the morning. 4:30 in the morning. Everybody's asleep, but OG's not asleep. They give you these stools in the county jail, and it's like it's plastic, but at the bottom it's heavy. You know what I mean? And I guess the heaviness comes from, okay, it may be a person that's 150 pounds that sits on the stool, then this individual may be 350 pounds. So it's heavy at the bottom of the stool, but it's plastic, man. Y'all rock with me, man. OG grabs one of them stools. 4:30 in the morning. They're going to serve breakfast at about 5:30. Little youngsters on the bottom bunk. Just like Dave did. He's hitting his bed. He's not hitting his leg or his body or nothing. He's like tapping his bed. Little youngster rolls over, man. Yeah. Man, he takes that stool, the bottom of it, the heavy part of it. Boom! Hits him and it splits his wig. I'm talking about, just imagine you waking up, somebody's tapping you, you don't really know what's going on. So it's first thing in the morning, you like, yeah, what's up? Boom! Hits him with that stool. Again, the heavy part of the stool. Huh? You had a whole lot to say earlier. Boom! Boom! Man, he's hitting the dude, and you could just hear it. Like, I wasn't in that particular, I was in the same dorm, but I wasn't in that pod. Because you got A, B, C, and D downstairs. E, F, G, and H upstairs. Again, each pod holds 10 to 12 people. But everything is see-through. Everything is glass in the Fayette County Detention, Center. So if any of y'all remember the show Oz, everything was glass. You could see through it. That's how it was. And all you heard was just him yelling, "You think I'm playing with you little young ass niggas? You think I'm..." Boom! And man, he was splitting, dude. When I tell you it was so much blood, it was so much. I'm not even gonna do the Signal 7 because it was beyond Signal 7. Man, they had to rush that boy to the UK hospital, University of Kentucky Hospital. Supposedly had reconstructive surgery on his face. I don't know. But what I do know is what I know and what I heard. Split that dude's wig, man. And a lot of these young people think that, man, you send me to jail, I'm good. None of his homies jumped in. People that he was at the table with, nobody jumped in. I'm surprised dude made it. It wasn't unalived. Can you imagine? A lot of people are discombobulated, when they first wake up, and you roll over. Somebody taps you, you thinking that, I don't know what you're thinking. You just, you natural instincts, you roll over. Somebody hits you with a violence, man. Immediate violence. It wasn't immediate, but it was violence, man. Is this what you all want? Obviously, some of y'all listen to this, you'll never be in that situation, but the people that are thinking about going down that road, is what you want? Because you can definitely get it. Man, I've seen so many things in prison, man. It'll blow your mind. Dude getting his feet caught on fire. They take the icy hot because they found out that dude. This was prior to the internet. See, now you can look up somebody's case or whatever, but now, back then you didn't really know, but they found out dude was a chomo. Dude was asleep, man. Dude was on a cane. It was an older dude. Probably he wasn't that old, but he just walked with a cane. He was probably, I don't know if he was 50, maybe 45. That seemed so old to me when I was in my 20s. Dude might have been 47, 48. Penitentiary ain't like you just have lighters and matches or whatever, but inmates is gonna find a way. Take a piece of paper, take a pencil, side of the pencil, scrape it on the paper, right? Scrape the side of the pencil, number 2 pencil, the side of it on a regular piece of paper, notebook paper. Put it in a microwave. Mind you, while all of this is being done, they done rubbed icy hot on the dude's feet or on his pants. I don't know how he didn't wake up, but they done rubbed icy hot on his pants, leg, or whatever. They found out he was a chomo, man, mess with them kids. Don't really know what icy hot necessarily has to do with anything, but only thing I know is I was there. This is at the Rotary Farm. The Rotary Farm's LaGrange, aka the fish tank, where they send you at in Kentucky when you're about to go to prison. They're going to send you there to get evaluated, classified. They're going to do a mental evaluation, a physical evaluation. They're going to look at your charges, your history, all of these things, and determine where you need to be housed at. Y'all rock with me, man. Put the icy hot on his feet, on his pants, leg, or whatever. Like I said, dude was 46, 47 years old, walked with a cane. Went to the microwave. Put that piece of paper with the lid on there. Put it in there for, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds, 6, 7 seconds. Took it out. Now you got a flame. That's how they used to light their cigarettes. Now you got a flame on this piece of paper. You see some of the most creative things in a penitentiary. Go over to the dude, put the flame up to the icy hot. The man's feet catch on fire, man. You talking about a Signal 7. Wow. People run in there, they got to bring the fire hose, the fire extinguisher, whatever. Dude was literally on fire, man. Messing with them kids, man. COs are not gonna have too much sympathy, empathy for you because you was out there messing with kids, man. Took him out of there. What type of things you see in prison, man? Let's talk about my dog Chops. Since we talking about prison, another instance at the Rotary Farm, aka the fish tank, LaGrange. Chops, man. did a story on Chops. Chops had he called him Chops because he white dude. Chops was, I don't know, maybe about 5'10", black hair. Never had a criminal record. Chops probably weighed, when I seen him, about 205, something like that, 200 pounds. Looked like a clean cut sort of individual, man. Never had no problems, man. At the rodeo farm, you got a 100-man dorm, but you're sectioned off in like cubicles. So I'm on the left side. I'm on the top bunk. Somebody underneath me, my dog Chris, was underneath me. And then probably about, I don't know, maybe 5 feet away, you got another set of bunks. Somebody on the top, somebody on the bottom. Chops was on the bottom. So I'd often just roll over in my rack and talk to Chops, man. Chops was a cool dude, man, for real. But he was dealing with some mental health issues, and you could tell that he was cool, and he was very, very intelligent, but you didn't know if he was playing that role. You didn't know, but Chops didn't appear to be all the way there at times. Sometimes he would, sometimes he wouldn't. And you had people in the dorm that would pick with him. You got to understand that at the Rotary Farm, man, 23 hours a day you locked down. You get 1 hour a day out for rec, but you're so happy to be out of the county jail that you got real food that you can buy if you got money or whatever. So Chops was like one of them dudes you wreck off of. He's just funny, man. He was a funny dude. Hey, Chops, tell us the story, man. Chops would talk about how he would, the first few years of his incarceration, he would just act like he was gay. He said he wasn't really, but he just acted that way so that he could, because he thought that he had seen all the movies and seen everything on TV, and he was like, oh man, so if I act this way, whatever the case may be, that was the way that some of the stories that he would tell us. At the Rotary Farm, he didn't act that way though. But you always gonna have some people, man, that pick with you and bullies, and especially in prison. And there was a dude, man, I don't even remember his name. He's from Louisville, man. Shout out to the VO 502. And he would really, really give Chops a hard time, man. Damn, I can't remember his name. Because I would say his name if I could remember it. But everybody loved him. Fat dude, had braids, black dude, caramel complected. He was big, but he was athletic, and he was loud and obnoxious and young, 24, 25, but everybody loved him. But he would pick with Chops all the time, man. And I knew that it was only a matter of time. And so Chops was so pressed out because for the reason that they called him Chops, I can't believe that I failed to mention that. The reason that they called him Chops was that when his girlfriend wanted to leave him, he unalived her. Cut her arms off, cut her legs off, put her in a suitcase, threw in the dumpster. You got to imagine that inmates is not gonna have no empathy, sympathy for you. You done something like that. So you had some people that had a soft heart. You had some people that had a soft heart, but then you had other people who's like, nah, man, you ain't had no love for the girl. You know what I mean? I'm getting to that. Y'all rock with me. You didn't have no sympathy for that girl, so nah, we ain't. So they would often tease Chops and laugh, but nobody actually did anything to him. They wasn't taking his stuff, wasn't taking his food, which they could have, but they didn't. Chops was sick of that, man. I would often try to tell Chops, like, listen, man, they end up giving Chops 25 years at 85%. This was my last time down. Y'all double tap that screen before I go chops on y'all, man, respectfully. This is my last time down. I got out of prison 2019. Chops got tired of it, man. You can buy sodas, Mountain Dew, Pepsi, whatever, Sprite. Chops have been saving the tops off of the can because they sell it to you in cans. Chops have been saving the tops off of the cans. So we had like 6 or 7 tops that he like somehow, I don't know exactly what he did. You see all type of configurations and all type of things that people make weapons in prison, and he had like 6, 7 tops, and he had them all together. I used to tell Chops, man, because I would wake up and see about 4 o'clock in the morning. What are you doing, Chops? Chops kind of, he would listen to me a little bit. What are you doing, Chops? I'm just tired of these people messing with me, man. I'm tired of these people, but he's not screaming. I'm just being extra, buddy. I'm tired. I'm sick of it. Dude got 25 years at 85%. He has to do 85% of his time. He's saying that he didn't do that to the girl. Chops at this point is only maybe 3 years in, 4 years in. At best, 4 years in. You got a 25-year sentence. You got to do 85% of your time. The most time you can do in Kentucky before you see the parole board, unless you got life without parole, is 20 years. So Chops is going to do 20. He's like 4 years in at best. Again, this is 2019. So at this point, Chops is going to get out again. He a young dude. Chops probably ain't nothing, but at the time, Chops was probably 25, 26. Another 10, 11 years, Chops will be out again. Cut your girl up because she was trying to leave and put it in a suitcase, bro. Only reason he only got 25 because it's mentally he wasn't all the way there. Sandwich is too short of a picnic, and that's no, talking about people in a bad way or whatever. Say that respectfully. I'm trying to talk Chops out of it, man. Chops is ready to go cut Big Dog up, man. He ain't really a big dog either, but damn, what is his name? He from Louisville. Wow, I would love to say his name, but I can't think of his name. So we just gonna call him Louisville. No disrespect to the Ville, man. I rocks with the Ville. Tough. I talked him out of it a couple times. A couple other people talked him out of it. Finally, man, he just couldn't deal with it no more. I think dude that came over and took like one of his tuna pouches and a noodle. Give me his shit, nigga. Not even knowing the whole time that Chops was plotting on him. This particular night, I didn't even know I had gotten up and went to the bathroom. I hated getting up out of my rack because I'm in the top rack. I got to jump down, try to be quiet, because in the penitentiary you can get your wig split for the smallest of things. You wake the bunkie up if he ain't somebody cool, whatever, man, because you got to step down off that bunk to get to the bathroom. Then it's a very, very volatile, violent place. Nevertheless, I had jumped down off my bunk, went to the bathroom. I come back from the bathroom. I'm probably about midway through the aisle. 50 beds on the left side, 50 beds on the right side. So I'm walk to the bathroom. The bathroom's in the very back of the dorm. I'm coming back. I just hear That's all I hear. I look over. Chops done took the tops off of these 7-Up can, because he used to love to drink 7-Up or Sprite, one of the two. LA, one of them three. And he somehow made them, like glued them together to where 7 tops became one thick top of an aluminum can. And it was a weapon. and he went over to Louisville's bed. Louisville slept on the bottom. He's a big dude. Louisville's over 300 pounds. Maybe not 300, but he was athletic. Start slicing him up. His chops wasn't saying nothing. He was just slicing him and slicing him. Dude would always sleep. He never slept. Okay, so Louisville slept like not directly across the aisle from me, but maybe a couple beds down, but I could always see his bed. And he would always just sleep under his sheet. He never slept. He slept on top of his blanket. They give you a blanket in prison, but he would sleep on top of his sheet. And dude is trying to block Chops like this, and Chops is just hitting his arms, man, just cutting him. Chops got to the point where he was cutting himself, trying to cut the dude. And all you seen was just the sheet just turned red, man. It was just blood. It was just it, and it was to the point to where an inmate had to literally hit the door. You mind your business in prison, but somebody hit the door. Hey. Peoples ran in, and he had sliced dude up so bad. Fortunately for the dude, man, his face, his neck, none of his fight. He never really got hit like that because he was a big dude and he was just blocking Chops with his arms. And it's in 2019. Gruesome. You think that you can just pick with people, play with people? You never know what a person is thinking. Dude, Louisville was young and word had gotten back to him, man. Chops, man, gonna slice you up, bro. I didn't say nothing. Chops gonna, he gonna slice you up or whatever, man. He ain't gonna do nothing. I wish he would. I wish a nigga would. But guess what? You got your wish, man. It was terrible, man. People came in, they turned the lights on. Of course, everybody was up because they heard the screaming and yelling, blood everywhere. They had to bring in the, and what is it called? The team that comes in and they got to wear like, they bring in the hazmat team. I think that's what they call. That was blood everywhere, man. Think you just gonna mess with people that's locked up? Like people, period, man. He quickly learned. He definitely learned that day. Hopefully he learned. I don't know if they put an outside case on Chops. Like I said, he was mentally, I don't know. I wish I had his name because y'all could Google him. I told the story on him. I just don't remember what the title is, but I've definitely told a story on him about Chops. Maybe you can Google Lexington, Kentucky man unalives his girlfriend and chops her up. This was right around 2000 and maybe 15, 16, somewhere right around in there. And y'all get the full story, but again, I did a story on it. I just can't remember his real name off the top of my head. Type of people that you are incarcerated with, sleeping beside when you locked up. You don't know what's on a person's mind. The person gonna be playing one day, all jokes and fun, and the next day may get some bad news, or things don't go his way with the parole board, or his girl sends him a Dear John, or she don't show up for visit, or he don't get a letter, or he just decides this is the day, man. This is the day. I ain't never going home. I ain't got a shot at going home for 30 years, 25 years. But you crying about your little 5 or 6 year sentence that you got, which no time is little time, but in comparison, guess what? Today might be the day. I'm gonna make sure you don't go home. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Y'all double tap your screen, man. Y'all double tap your screen. I've been out here 2 hours, but I'm gonna leave y'all with this, man. All throughout the Kentucky prison systems, everybody knows about this. If you've been in the system, you know about this, and nothing to brag about. Somebody just sent me another Cash App, $ KENZ 1000. I appreciate that. I just seen the notification. Can't see exactly who sent it, but it just showed that I got a Cash App. I appreciate that. $KENZ is in zebra 1000. It's the Cash App. I need one more. I need 5 more double taps for likes, man. You got an individual. This goes to show how much they just don't care about you in prison, man. Which, you know, you are in prison, but you're still a human being. It is a business. Locking people up is a business. Double tap that screen one time, man. One time for your mind. Dude is in a cell. They don't have one-man cells in Kentucky. Only way you can get a one-man cell is if you go to Eddyville, home of Death Row, Kentucky State Penitentiary, aka home of Fleece Johnson. That's where Fleece Johnson did the majority of his time. Shout out to Fleece Johnson. Shout out to Big Lee at Hustle Spirit 502. Y'all go check them out if you're not already familiar. Fleece Johnson's in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm in Lexington, 60 miles apart. You got this individual, I don't even remember what prison it was at. It's in a 2-man cell. He's doing a life sentence, man. You got the dude that's never going home. He got life. Been in there already a good 15, 16, 17 years. I done been in a cell when an individual got life. Now, he had life with the possibility of parole. But it was still very, very uncomfortable. We was the same age, maybe 2 years apart. Grew up in the same. I grew up right around the corner from where he grew up. He grew up on the east side. I was on the east side, but not actually like in the hood where he was at. But I was like right there on the outskirts. So, you know, we knew a whole lot of the same people. Me and his brother, same age, went to school together. So put me in the cell with him, man, and you know, it was very, very uncomfortable. And knowing that you're gonna be going home with the next 2, 3, 4 years, at worst 4 years, and you in there with a person that has a life sentence, and they know that you don't have that much time. So you got this dude, man, that got a life sentence, and they brought in a little young dude, man, and they had sent him to prison for like a DUI. He got like a DUI and ended up hitting somebody. Wasn't even actually his fault, but being that he was drunk, and they gave him 3 years. They sent him to prison. They ain't sent him to a little camp, or they sent him to the pen, man. 3 year sentence. Either had 3 or 5 years. It was one of the two. And you put this dude in a cell with somebody that's never going home. He went to the caseworker. He went to whoever he could go to. Mama, they got me in the cell, and Mama, I can't. He didn't call her Mama, he called her Mom. The white dude, Mom can't help you. You locked up in the penitentiary. Lions, tigers, and bears, gorillas, goons, belly of the beast, hyenas. Mama can't help you. Mama's money got you 3 years, because you really should have gotten more time than that. Got to the point to where the dude that was doing a life sentence was going to the people, not telling or anything like that. Hey, man, get this dude out of my cell, man. I can't take it. He's crying about this little 3, 5 year sentence that he got. I ain't never going home, man. I ain't never, man. You know what never means, man? Never. Ain't never going home. Get this dude out of my cell, man. They didn't adhere to it. Think nothing of it. Prison, you don't tell us what to do. We tell you what to do. Yeah, okay. I done told y'all. Dude done you know, requested to get moved out of the cell, but unless you have somebody that's willing to swap out with you to come into the cell, when you leave the cell, guess what? You stuck in the cell. Locking people up is a business. One night, dude just wasn't dealing with it no more. Couldn't take it. It's never okay to do anything to anybody, but I want you all to just imagine if you had a life sentence, you're never in life going home. West Virginia's in the building. What's good? Darren Scott, 9920. Imagine you never going home. And you got this dude crying and complaining all the time about a 3-5 year sentence. And again, I'm going to reiterate and I'm stressing, violence is never the answer. Mother's taking care of him. Dude's in the cell. He don't got nobody sending him no money. He's surviving off whatever he makes in prison. $60, $100 a month, whatever. Lock you down in prison, depending on what prison you in. Say lockdown's at 11 o'clock. You're not coming out of your cell till about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning for breakfast. Count time in the morning. They come through and count before they allow the yard to open up. Memphis, Tennessee's in the building. Shout out to Memphis. In the house, Damien Faison. In the building like kitchen sinks. Truck driver. Get me through plenty of nights. Darren Scott, 99. I appreciate that, bro. Y'all get me through plenty of nights just as well. You just don't know. Tonight was the night. Dude is not listening to it no more. They came in for count time. He goes out because dude was laying in his bed or whatever. CO just came by and just looked at him in his bed, counted him or whatever, and kept going. This is why they now make you stand up in Kentucky prisons. Used to be they could just count you. They come through and they see you in your bed, they just count you and keep going. Now you got to stand up, put your ID like this. Goes to breakfast, comes back. Hey, man. Goes to the staff. Man, y'all get this dead motherfucker out of my cell. What? Get this dead motherfucker out of my cell, man. What do you mean? Get this. They come to the cell. Dude, they gutted him, man. Dude, they completely gutted him. I told y'all, man, get him out of my cell. Y'all didn't want to listen. Unalive dude, man. And when I say unalive, they said, now I wasn't there, but they said that when I say gutted him, like, or pulled his organs out and flushed it down the toilet. I don't know if that part of it is true or not. I don't know if that part of it is true or not, but they said that he gutted him, pulled his organs out, and flushed it down the toilet. These are sort of things and people that you deal with in prison. Quite sure that his family sued the prison. He never should have been there, and he definitely shouldn't have been in a cell with an individual that had a life sentence. You know how hard it was for me to sleep at night? Being in a cell with an individual that had life, and not just that, he was trying to get back to Eddyville because his boyfriend, he was openly in a relationship with another dude, and he was trying to get back to Eddyville. So he's plotting, and he's telling me different things that he was going to do, try to get back to his dude, because his dude was going to get out within the next 2 years. I'm not trying to be your ticket, bro. I'm not trying to get gutted, pause, when I'm sleeping, you. But this happened. And it's known throughout the Kentucky, as I've already mentioned, penitentiary system. Same way everybody knew about Fleece Johnson. I never did time with Fleece Johnson, but you hear. The stories are true. Fleece wasn't in there graping nobody, nothing like it, but I'm saying the stories are true as far as the violence and all the things that it's true. What do? Stay out of prison. Because if you go, then you know what I mean? You're going to have to do what you got to do to survive in there. And then, if you do what you got to do, your 5, 6, 7 years, 10 years that you got, can easily turn into a life sentence. Fleece had 10 years when he initially went in, ended up doing 40. Served 40. 10 years in Kentucky don't mean 10 years unless it's violent. Even if it's violent, it's 85%, so it's 8.5 years. But if you're not violent, 10 years, man, you go for parole in 20%, 2 years. If you do classes, stay out of trouble, whatever, you can be home and back then it was 6.5. Now you can be home in like 4.5 years. Imagine turning a 10-year sentence into serving 40 years, which means he had more than 40. He served 40 years, man. This dude, man, hey, prison's not where you want to go. It's not. Anytime I've had so many people hit me up as of late, man. Things is not going right for me, KENZ. I'm thinking about jumping in the streets, thinking about, doing something illegal. One person told me he's thinking about robbing the bank. Man, don't do none of that, man. Because as bad as things are out here, understand that if you get incarcerated, man, it's going to multiply by 10. If ain't nobody going to give you nothing and you don't got nobody to go to and turn to out here for money or whatever, just imagine in there you're not going to have nobody to turn to and go to, man. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult. I know that times is, but man, you got to pray, man, turn to your higher power and just keep working and keep striving towards making a change in your life, man. That's why I inspire people to start a YouTube channel, start making money outside of your job or whatever. It's not gonna happen overnight, man. I know dudes, man, I literally know dudes making 15, 20, 30,000 a month on YouTube. It didn't start that way. I'm nowhere near that, not even remotely close. But guess what? Maybe one day I will if I continue to keep building and people, man, KENZ, your videos are too long. KENZ, you venture off into other, man, I know what I'm doing when I'm on here talking. KENZ, if you just do it this way, KENZ, and I take heed, I listen to people, but I understand that this is getting back to the, it's a stove, not a microwave. It's stairs, not an elevator. I understand that it takes time. Can't worry about the other people got 100,000 subscribers, man. I'll get there. If it's meant for me to get there, I'll get there. But what I'm not going to do is put myself in jeopardy to go back to prison again. It's just not going to happen. I don't care about your cars. I don't care about your rims. I don't care about your Jordans. I don't care about your jewelry. I done had all of that. I was doing that in the 90s, man. You know what I mean? And none of it, I don't got none of it to show for anything to this day, man. Forget all of that stuff, man. Get you a skill, some knowledge, real estate, some bonds, but stocks, but before you get to that point, man, you got to know how to navigate and stay out of trouble, man. Stay out of them streets, stay out of trouble, because you too can be in that cell with that individual that has a life sentence, man. I promise y'all, or I appreciate you all for chiming in with me. I've been on here for 2 hours and almost 20 minutes. Definitely appreciate, absolutely, chestnut checkers, man. And that's the truth, man. Understand, man, it takes time to build and to grow. You think I don't get frustrated on this YouTube? You think I don't look up and be like, damn, man, why my subscribers are not growing, faster than what they... But I understand. Maybe it's not meant for me to... Maybe I haven't learned my total lesson yet. Maybe I need to have more patience. Whatever the case may be, I'm not in prison anymore. Haven't been in prison for a long time, and I plan to keep it that way. Everybody gets a shot. Everybody gets an opportunity to shine in life. But what are you going to do with the opportunity? We all pray for this. We pray for that. We pray for that special soulmate. We pray for, but then when you get it, how are you going to handle that blessing? Sometimes we're not necessarily ready for that blessing yet. We already blessed. But perhaps at this particular juncture or time in our life, a higher power is let me hold off. Maybe KENZ ain't ready for 100,000 subscribers yet. Making 10, 12,000 a month. Maybe I'm not ready for it yet. I don't know. I feel like I am, but guess what? It's not up for me to decide. The only thing I can do is continue to work hard. Same thing that you all can do. Continue to work hard. And I promise you, man. I promise you. It's going to pay off for you. But as soon as you start trying to take shortcuts, it never goes right, man. Real KENZ TV, man. Hopefully you all enjoyed this live. You know what I mean? I need y'all to like, comment, definitely share once it goes, once I upload it. And man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. You know what I mean? Y'all go check out my video. I uploaded a video, I don't know, maybe 2 hours, so 4 hours ago. 2 hours before I started this live. Got a video, man. Y'all go check it out, man. It's about my cousin. My own cousin told on me, man. Sent me to the penitentiary, man. Really, I sent myself to the penitentiary by being involved. But he worked with them people, man. Y'all go check it out. Real KENZ TV. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one, man. You know what I mean? It's been real. Enjoyed myself. But I got to go.